Zack Castonguay. I go to Lewiston High School. I'm in the Green Ladle LRTC program, and I'm going to be demonstrating knife cuts today. And the reason knife cuts are important in the workforce, like in the restaurant business, is because people will give you specific knife cuts to work with. Like if you're making a chowder, you need a small dice. If you're working in a 5-star restaurant, you need a tournée. All these different things all affect the learning aspect and like all the things you need to know. What I'll be demonstrating first is, as you can see, I have a wet cloth underneath my cutting board to give me stability so that when I'm cutting, the cutting board doesn't slide around and unless I have to cut myself. I also have a trash bowl over here, so when I'm done with my scraps, nothing's in the way and it's off to the side and I don't have to keep running to the trash can. And what I'm going to start with first is the chiffonade, which is used to give height to wraps and sandwiches. And basically what you do, you just roll it in a circle and then cut little fine slivers of it. And as you can see, it gives like a little springy kind of mix to it. So you put that right in your wraps and stuff to give it height so you don't have to have as much lettuce or stuff like that in it. Next, I'll be doing a rondelle, which is a very basic knife cut. It's just a dish-shaped object using like a zucchini, a summer squash, maybe a carrot. And this you can use in like soups, anything really. And easy way to remember it is that round and rondelle, they sound similar. So that's the rondelle, as you can see, just small disc shaped, good for soups and stuff like that. And next I'm gonna do the tournée. This is the most difficult of the knife cuts. It's 2 inches long by 3/4 inches wide. It has 7 sides. It's used in like 5-star restaurants. It doesn't really change like the texture or anything like that, but it's just really good when it comes to appearance because someone sees that you took the time to put all the effort into preparing their food and that you didn't just slop something together. So as you can see, I'm just working it down, get the basic sides going, get down to the size I need. I'm just starting from the one end to the other, peeling it, and it's going to be shaped similar to a football. And this one, first you just count like, oh, I have 5 sides right now, so now I need 2 more. So there's 1 right there, and then my second one. And what you can do, now that you have your basic sides and everything, you can keep trimming it down so it's going to start to look better. And as you can see, everything's falling into the scrap bowl, so there's no mess, stuff like that. And these, since they're kind of small, most restaurants would probably put like 3 or 4 or 5 to a plate. Usually odd numbers work better with the eyes. And as you can see, count your sides real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's that. Then I'm gonna do the julienne, which is I'd say the most common. You can see it with green peppers, red peppers, but I'm gonna be doing it with potatoes. And as you see, I'm curling my fingers always because you never wanna chop off your finger. All your fingers, use your knuckles as a guide, and the tips of your fingers are behind so that there's no chance of you cutting yourself. And right now I'm just squaring it off. And the julienne, that knife cut is 2.5 inches long by 1/8 of an inch. So it's pretty small. Some people call it the matchstick cut because it's the same size and everything as a matchstick. So what I'm doing, and in a restaurant, since you're gonna be cutting a lot of things at once, you don't want to like do one thing at a time due to like you want to have large volumes of food. So if you just did one thing at a time, it'd just be too time consuming. So right there, I have all my slices, and then I'm gonna cut little strips down. And with these, after I get my julienne, which is like this, you can turn that into a brunoise, which is like the smallest of the dices, which you get from this, and they're about 1/8 inch cubes. And these are good for like garnishing or adding texture to foods. It's really nice. Like if you have like a soup or something, you have these little tiny carrots. It's better than having large chunks and stuff like that. So now I'm gonna do the oblique, which you hold your knife at a 35-degree angle. You cut one side, remove your scraps, and instead of moving the knife, you roll the carrot and you go like that. So it's basically gonna look like a wedge, and you have to leave a little small flat area right there. And this is used for like garnishing. You can scoop out the middle, put it on a plate and put something in it. Like you can make a rose out of a cherry tomato and put it inside there. And we also can do the small dice, which is good for like chowders, stuff like that. So once again, I'm squaring it off. And then I'm gonna cut down the middle. And these are around like 1/4-inch cubes, similar to that. And this would be good for like a chowder so that they're not too large of bites. But you could also do a medium dice if you wanted to. And like the larger dice, which is similar to this, you could use those in potato salads, stuff like that, in order to like show what's in it, because you don't want small potatoes in a potato salad because you'd be kind of mushy probably. And the last cut I'll be showing you is the Beth-Winette, which is used in like vegetable platters if you're doing like a party or something. That's just like a 2.5 to 3-inch rectangle. So you're gonna square off all the sides as we do in most of the knife cuts. Rotate it, and it's gonna be a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch by 2 inches. So it's gonna be pretty decent sized. And as you can see, that's the Beth-Winette.